Bloons Tower Defense 6 is chock full of monkeys, heroes, maps, and more, which can be overwhelming at first, but I'm going to walk you through the ins and outs of the game with this beginner's guide so you have a better idea of what's going on while also trying not to spoil anything cool. But with that, let's get started. When you open the game for the first time, you're greeted with a tutorial. This does a fantastic job explaining that you can place monkeys and heroes to pop balloons that float along the track, and that popping these balloons earns you money. This is probably the most important thing to focus on in-game because it's used for buying monkeys, upgrades, and heroes. Now, you can get money many different ways, but for this video, we're going to focus on the main two, which are popping balloons and beating rounds. These two methods give you a constant income stream that'll be just enough to win if you make the right choices. The other thing that beating rounds gives you is experience. This is used to level up your hero in-game, making them get stronger and cooler as the rounds go on. Additionally, any monkeys you've placed will also earn experience, but it works a little different on them. Instead of automatically getting stronger, their experience is used to permanently unlock upgrades that you can then purchase with money. These upgrades range in price and power, but in general, the higher the tier, the more powerful and expensive the upgrade is. It should be noted that once you purchase a tier 3 upgrade, many other upgrades will become locked and unpurchasable on that monkey. This adds a ton of strategy to the game as these choices can easily make or break your run, but here's an example so I can explain the lingo of the game. Here we have a tax shooter that has been upgraded to an even more tax. Now, the instant that I purchase the tier 3 upgrade tax sprayer, the other paths will lock up and only the first 2 tiers of upgrades will be purchasable. On top of this, we can only pick one of the 2 paths to upgrade. This choice can drastically affect how a monkey will perform, and the more familiar you are with these choices, the better at the game you'll be. In this example, we have to pick between our tax sprayer attacking faster or having more range, and purchasing these alternate path upgrades is called crosspathing, and it is essential if you want your monkeys to be as good as possible. I'll give you a hint here, the extra attack speed is almost always better on this guy. One little side note is that if you're reading the wiki or listening to a YouTube video, you'll hear numbers being thrown around, like someone saying, I bought a 023 dart monkey. So what do these numbers mean? Well, these numbers are referring to the number of upgrades purchased with each path. So if we continue with our tax shooter example, this guy would be called a 203 tax shooter because I purchased 2 upgrades in the top path, 0 upgrades in the middle path, and 3 upgrades on the bottom path. If I had cross pathed it with super range tax instead of even faster shooting, then this would be called a 023 tax shooter. Now, I know that was a bit in depth, but it's something you'll need to know if you want to Google anything. Once you finish the tutorial, you'll be brought back to the home screen. Not much is made available to you right away, but that'll change once you start leveling up. For now, just hit play down at the bottom of the screen and this will open up all the maps that you can play on. These maps are split into 4 categories: beginner, intermediate, advanced, and expert. As you might have guessed, these categories break up the maps by difficulty, with beginner being the easiest and expert being the hardest. Once you click on a map, you'll get prompted with what difficulty you want to play on: easy, medium, or hard. Now, I recommend sticking to easy and medium until you have quite a few monkeys and upgrades unlocked, but if you want to jump into hard, do it on logs, cubism, or resort, as those are the 3 easiest maps. After a few of these games, you should have unlocked most of the monkeys and have a good start on their upgrades. Without spoiling anything, every single monkey is useful, so make sure to be getting experience on all of them. Plus, most of them have cool upgrades that are fun to play with anyway. During this time, you'll also be leveling up yourself, which unlocks even more features. The first of which is new heroes. There are 14 total heroes you can choose from, and the first 4 unlocked just by leveling up. Of these 4, Hbomb is the easiest to use and most beginner friendly, but my favorite is Gwendolyn, so make sure to try them all out. If you want to unlock the rest of the heroes, you'll need a good bit of monkey money, which is the other form of currency in the game. This stuff is pretty easy to come by, as you get some every time you beat a map, complete achievements, or many other things that we'll cover in a bit. Speaking of achievements, that is the second thing you'll get while leveling up. You can check out all the achievements in the game by clicking on this medal on the home screen, and if there's an exclamation point on it, it means you have at least 1 achievement completed and ready to collect. These achievements give a wide assortment of rewards for completing them, but the most important 2 are monkey money, which we just talked about, and the second are these cool tokens called monkey knowledge points. You can only get these points by leveling up or completing achievements, and this is what I had the most fun unlocking when I first started playing this game, as there is a massive player progression tree that you can spend these monkey knowledge points on to upgrade your account. These upgrades give in-game bonuses like a little extra starting cash or free spikes at the end of the track that'll make harder game modes a little easier. Once you have a solid foundation of monkey knowledge, upgrades, and heroes, you can start to take on harder and harder maps on more challenging difficulties. On top of this, you can start participating in the wide range of events that occur in BTD6. The first event we'll talk about is the Weekly Odyssey. Here you take a crew of monkeys on a voyage where you have to beat several custom challenges in order to complete the quest, and doing so will give you rewards like monkey money. The next event is the race mode, where you race against everyone else in the world to see who can finish popping all the balloons the fastest, and you can even take on several rounds at once if you wish. and the better you do, the better rewards you get. On to the coolest event, we have bosses. This is my personal favorite as it takes a normal game to another level by introducing boss balloons every so often. This requires much more planning and causes way more panic than usual, making for a very entertaining experience. There's also the Contested Territories event. If you're more of a team player, then this is the event for you, as you and your team take on 5 other teams in a land grab minigame where you compete to see who is the most skilled at balloon through a variety of custom challenges. There are several other events like the daily challenges, monkey teams, and much more, but I don't want to spoil everything. If you do want to know about them, they're just one Google search away. But with that, you should have a good grasp on the basics of the game, the lingo that's used online, and what most of the events are that take place in BTD6.